In this segment of Mrs. M's Math to the Masses in a minute or two, we're going to talk about the slopes of lines which are parallel or perpendicular. So on this chart, randomly are some slopes that could be the value of m in an equation. Let's see what the slope of something parallel to that would be. Parallel slopes of two lines, slopes of lines which are parallel, always the exact same. So this second line, parallel to the line with the slope of 2/3, would also have a slope of 2/3. Likewise, if a given line had a slope of -3/4, the parallel line would have the same slope. If a given line had a slope of 5/9, the parallel line would have the same slope. If the given line had a slope of -6, this slope would also be -6. If a slope was 0, then the parallel line would also have a slope of 0. Which slopes for lines, which types of lines have slopes of 0? Horizontal lines. So this line would have an equation of y equals a number, and the slope would be 0, and this would be y equals a different number. Undefined slopes are always vertical lines, so you'd have another vertical line, and its slope would also be undefined. There's a symbol used on all geometry papers to show parallel, two narrow lines close together. Now let's look at perpendicular lines. You're going to hear your teacher say the term either negative reciprocal or opposite reciprocal for these first four examples. It means you flip the fraction and change its sign from either positive to negative or negative to positive. So positive 2/3 becomes a negative 3/2. Flip the fraction, change the sign. Negative 3/4 becomes a positive 4/3 for the slope of the perpendicular line. You could push pause right now, write down what you think the slope of the line perpendicular to the original slope would be. When you restart, hopefully we match, and you have -9/5. -6 is the same as it equals -6/1. So this answer, when I flip the fraction, is 1/6, and when I change the sign from negative, it becomes positive. So that works for these, using the term opposite or negative reciprocal. Let me write that in real quickly. Reciprocal means flip the fraction, and opposite means change the sign. These last two, there's a theorem that says every horizontal line is perpendicular to every vertical line. So that means for these last two cases, if the slope is 0, the perpendicular slope will be undefined. Because whereas this is a horizontal line, this will now be a vertical line. And if we started with the undefined slope on a vertical line, the new slope of the perpendicular would be 0. This would be a horizontal line.